After a week-long wait, the Outlander Season 7 finale is finally here, and wow, what an emotional roller coaster it was. This episode explored some deep themes: death, family reconnections, and rebirth. We said goodbye to a few beloved characters, but we also saw how some of these deaths were necessary for the story to move forward and for Claire to uncover a family link she never knew existed. Let's dive into the episode, titled A 100,000 Angels, and break it all down. But be warned, there are spoilers ahead. Who is Frances? We first met Frances through Jane, who William encountered at a brothel, and with whom he had a brief affair. However, as the season progressed, we didn't fully grasp the importance of both Jane and Frances until the very end. This episode, in particular, highlighted the theme of families reconnecting, and we saw it in many emotional ways. Bree arrived in the early 1700s to reunite with Roger, and we also saw William turn to both Lord John and Jamie for help. But the most significant connection was between Claire and Frances. When Frances sang "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside," a song popularized in the early 1900s, it immediately struck a chord with Claire, who had sung the same song to her stillborn daughter, Faith. This left Claire confused, as the song was way ahead of the time period in which she was living. How would Frances know this song unless, could it have been Faith? Then came the bombshell. Frances was wearing a locket with a photo of her mother, and engraved on it was the name Faith, the same name as Claire and Jamie's deceased daughter. Could it be that Faith didn't die as Claire believed? Could Frances actually be Claire and Jamie's long-lost daughter? This twist was years in the making, almost since season 2. It's a bold move by the showrunners, and if they go down this path, it could completely reshape everything we thought we knew about the Frasers. What really touched me was how Jamie and Claire took Frances under their wing even before understanding the depth of their connection. It was such a beautiful, symbolic gesture, almost like Claire was finally getting the chance to nurture a mother-daughter relationship with Frances, something she was denied with Faith. Jamie and William's journey. The episode also focused heavily on the relationship between Jamie and William. For most of the episode, Jamie stayed by Claire's side as she recovered from a wound, but the real turning point was when Jamie worked to repair his bond with his son. William's mission to rescue Jane, who had been arrested for killing Captain Harkness, became a major focus. But when they arrived to rescue her, it was tragically too late. Jane, before her execution, looked up at the stars, saying "I do like to be beside the seaside," and waved. This echoed what her mother, Faith, had told her, that if you look at the stars, you're seeing 100,000 angels, and if you wave, they'll take you to heaven. It was a heartbreaking moment, and the death theme played out poignantly, especially with Jamie's words about how being reunited with lost loved ones makes death seem less painful. I truly wanted William to have a happy ending with Jane. She gave him a sense of grounding and was the one person who could connect with him on a deeper level. But it just wasn't meant to be. However, their relationship had a much bigger purpose, bringing two sides of Claire's family together that she had no idea even existed. William and Jamie also had an emotional moment in which William acknowledged that Jamie was his biological father, though he made it clear that he would never call him that. This was growth, a step toward healing. Jamie also showed emotional maturity, admitting he didn't regret the death of William's mother because it meant that William was born. Bree and Roger's small role now. Bree and Roger's involvement in this finale was surprisingly minimal, and I'll admit, I was a bit disappointed. The whole Rob Cameron storyline seemed to have been building towards something bigger, but it didn't get the attention it deserved. Bree's realization that she didn't want to return to the 1980s and wanted to stay with her family in the 1700s was a pivotal moment, and it would have been nice to see that explored more. Still, there's hope that Bree and Roger's story will come to the forefront in the final season. We might even see the family reunited on screen: Jamie, Claire, Bree, Roger, and now Frances. Bree could also become an aunt, which would add a whole new dynamic to the family structure. Ian and Rachel's moment. Ian and Rachel had a quieter role in this finale, mainly focused on their future. They're heading to North Carolina to start their life together now that they're married, and we learned that Rachel is pregnant. But just as they were moving forward, the theme of loss reappeared. Ian woke up to find that Rolo, his loyal companion, had passed away during the night. It was devastating, especially because Ian had always relied on Rolo. It felt like Rolo waited until Ian had found happiness with Rachel, and then he let go. That was a tough, emotional moment that really hit home. Final thoughts on the season finale. Overall, I thought this was a strong season finale. I appreciated the slow, steady pace of the episode. It wasn't just about big battles or dramatic moments, but about letting the story unfold naturally, with a heavy emphasis on conversation and character growth. The Frances twist was bold, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. And let's talk about Frances' performance in the graveyard, her raw emotion, the grief and loneliness she conveyed. It was absolutely top-tier acting. The theme of family was at the heart of this episode, and it was so rewarding to see all these fractured relationships mended. Even Jamie and Lord John, who had so much unresolved tension, seemed to find some peace. Everything came full circle, and there was a real sense of closure. But, can we please get some closure on the Philadelphia campaign? And what about the consequences of Jamie being a deserter? I'm hoping those unanswered questions get addressed in the next season. It's hard to believe we're gearing up for the final season of Outlander. It's been one heck of a journey, and I'm not sure I'm ready to say goodbye just yet. But I'm grateful we've got one more season to look forward to. So, what did you think of this episode? Are you as shocked by the Frances twist as I am? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to see more Outlander breakdowns, check out the playlist linked above or head to my channel for more. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.